I always say this, the Mafia, Cosa Nostra in America survived and prospered for well over 100 years under some very difficult conditions, law enforcement and other things going on. And the reason they did that was because of the organization, because of the structure, because there was consequences if you violated the 1.5 years or so. And, I had to do whatever I was told to do to prove myself worthy. It could have been something very menial. There's a lot of discipline in that life, a lot of authority, a lot of respect. And it could have been something very serious, I never shy away from this. That life at times is very violent. You're part of the life, you're part of the violence. There's no escape. I always say this, the Mafia, Cosa Nostra in America survived and prospered for well over 100 years under some very difficult conditions, law enforcement and other things going on. And the reason they did that was because of the organization, because of the structure, because there was consequences if you violated the policies and the rules. There was one boss that was the head of a family, and he had an underboss, which was the second in command under him. And then there was a position called consigliere, who was like an advisor to the boss. And then you had capo regimes or captains, and they were kind of the street bosses, and they were in charge of the soldiers. And soldiers were, when you just took the oath and you just came into that life, the rank as a soldier. And you can move up or stay a soldier all the time. It depends upon your individual circumstance. So after about 2.5 years or so, I proved myself worthy. And in 1975, I actually took an oath with 5 other gentlemen, became a sworn made member of the family. And just to show you how fortunate I am, the 5 guys that I took the oath with, they were all murdered later on, every one of them. None of them survived. I'm the only one out of that group.
You've mentioned several times the term made men. Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, that's the term. You're a made guy after you take the